fabric of love for the future. Universes to come. Time is not something that bothers us at all. The creative source is love. It always has been. It always will be. Why do you fear it? It's time to rewrite it. And if you're using the word, the fear, when you use the word God, perhaps this will be the last time you do. There's another assumption, size. You're small, God is big. And when you sit and look at the cosmos, even with your own naked eye, it's overwhelming, overwhelming. If you were to be so fortunate as to study the cosmos and call yourself an astronomer, it is so vast and so amazing that almost every astronomer knows deep down inside, life is everywhere. Ask an astronomer the odds that it wouldn't be, and stand back for an answer you didn't expect. Astronomers know that the odds of life have to be that it's everywhere. You look at the non-visible universe, that which you cannot see with your eyes, that which you can only sense with instruments, and it's vaster than you ever thought. As big as your galaxy is, to think of billions of others boggles that which you would call your sensory perception of reality. And there you sit like a microbe on a little ball called Earth. So small. God is so big to have created everything. Therefore, the assumption goes, God doesn't know you. Therefore, you've got to shout louder to be heard. Therefore, therefore, therefore. And it isn't true. You got to drop the logic for a minute. The smallness that you believe that you are compared to the largeness which is the universe is immaterial when it comes to love. Love is bigger than this. Dear ones, your soul is as big as anything that exists. That which your soul is, which you paint some picture of, is the fabric of creation. There's a finite number of souls. And some of them are here. And some of them are somewhere else. Known by God you are. Doesn't matter how small you think you are. That's a bias. Don't assume that you're tiny little cog in the machine when you're known by God, the creator of the universe, the lover of all humanity. You echo that which is creation. On this Valentine's Day, you're part of the greatest heart that has ever beat, which is the Creator's. Another one is this. Do any of you understand that the minute you bow down and worship God, you're worshiping yourself? How does it feel? Is it natural? And the answer is no. You would never do that. I want you to look at this differently. The creative source does not want to be worshipped. Did you hear me? We want to be loved back. It's different. It's different than groveling, or seeing yourself as nothing, or climbing stairs, or whipping yourself so that blood appears, so somehow we'll pay attention to you. Do you understand? All we want is to be loved back. Do you know what happens when you love us back? A connection happens. That is the oil that lubricates your enlightenment. Were you aware of that? The oil that lubricates your enlightenment is the love connection to the other side of the veil. Don't worship us. Love us. It's a big, big difference. You have so many on this planet giving you the advice on what God wants, not understanding or knowing what God wants. It's all biased in what humans think God wants. And it isn't the truth. We don't care which way you face. We don't care if you bow or stand. Love is everywhere. We love you to your last breath and then beyond. And when that's over, and 3 days later when your soul appears and the celebration begins, all you see is love. All you hear is the music of the strings of love. And then you're home, and that's reality. This is not. This is being human. To you, it's everything at the moment. And it is because you have before you a test of energy that you've never had before that is such a grand scale you cannot even believe it. What you do here on this planet next, old soul, is going to affect universes someday to follow. And the irony is, you sit there thinking you're trapped in time, you're going to be part of the universes to follow because you're timeless. Timeless. As pieces of God that you are, you'll always be, and you always will, and you always have been. Hard for you to imagine such a thing. Pieces and parts of your soul are other places right now. They're parts of you. You didn't really understand that. We've told you that before, dear ones. Love is so grand. The last thing we want to tell you. Dear ones, unless you can fall in love with that part of you which is God, listen to me. Unless you can really fall in love with that piece of you which is God, despite all the faults you think you have, until you fall in love with the God part, nothing else is going to happen. It's getting profound. The energy on this planet is starting to become more sacred all the time. You want to know why the dark armies are here? Because they are losing. And the light is starting to show itself. And they know it. Crawling out from under the rocks. Trying to find anybody else who is dark as they are, in order to join them and defeat something that's undefeatable called the light of love on planet Earth. Love is the catalyst for everything else in your life. If you're going to sit in the dark, you're not going to let love in. If you're going to sit in fear, you're not going to let love in. At that moment that you surrender everything you've learned about what you think is going to work and let the walls come down, the love of God comes in, and it is the catalyst for everything. It is the catalyst for healing, life's purpose, joy, celebration, peace, a good night's sleep. You hear me? That's what's going on this planet. The prophecy of the eagle and the condor is the prophecy of the ancients. Loosely translated, it's when the earth starts to become aware of divinity inside. When the mother energy, which represents creation, starts to appear in all parts of the planet. And the mother energy, metaphorically, is known as love. The love of a mother for its child is renowned. Some of the greatest love that any human could have for another human being. And it dwarfs in comparison with the love of God for you. But you got to start somewhere, dear ones. Start with love. Relax and be loved. Start to love back. And understand that something's going on when you do. It's not just nice to be loved. It's not just nice to love back. There's physics involved. A connection happens. Your cellular structure knows it. Your DNA starts to become more efficient, improve, heal. Do you hear me? Heal. All because you stretched out your hand and said, I give up. Let's just love each other. Is there any greater message on Valentine's Day? The heart that beats for you, that is the universe, knows your name. Now when you stand from this place, stand taller than you did when you came in. I love you. And so it is.